Mic check, max spit stats like a tactician. Link breaking plays down, surging with precision. Scoob got the jokes, punchlines hitting crisp. Whole squad on the mic, call it audible bliss. Gritter and gospel. We the chapel of the huddle, global reach, Titan speak. Breaking every bubble from the turf to the booth. Knowledge they colossal. Podcast the playbook, no room for apostle. Titans global, we break it, we mold it. Talking pigskin, the truth get unfolded. Max Link School, we the squad, we the clone. Football mind sharp, taking you across the globe. Max drop jams, X's and O's like hieroglyphs. Link dissecting plays, no time for the myth. School keep it raw, laugh till you cry. Huddle up, Titans talk, no flag, let it fly. Every league, every player, we dissect the grind. From the draft to the field, future stars in line. Whistles blow, helmets clash, stories untold. We bring the heat like cleats burning through the cold.
From kickoff to OT, every snap's a tale. Global Titans, we prevail, never stale.
What's up, Titans fans, and welcome to another episode of Titans Global Podcast. I am your host, a Maximus Titan fan, and with me, as always, is my good buddy Link. What's up, Link?
What's going on? Good to be here, guys. Thanks again for joining us. And like, comment, subscribe, all the important stuff. Most importantly, get in the comment section. We've been doing these segments called Fan Questions. It's been super great so far, a lot of engagement. So, you know, if you didn't get in on it there, drop it in the comments here. Definitely want to hear from you guys. So let's introduce Scoob and get right into it.
What's up, Scoob? How you feeling tonight?
How's everybody doing tonight? Let's go. Tighten up.
Tighten up, everybody. So, yeah, we're doing a fan question show. Scoob wasn't in on it last time, so this will be a little bit more fun now that we've got three different views on it. But, yeah, we ask questions. We've got a couple questions from the fans over the week, and if you've got anything live for us, you know, hey, hit us up on the question, you know, on the comments. That's what the show's all about. Anyway, we're going to start with Vanessa Stewart, which I had a great question. It said, will Helm be used now more often than Pollard in the short passing game? I think that's pretty much clear. I think Helm's going to be a safety valve for Cam Ward this year, to be honest. And I like Tajay Spears, Nick Singleton, both better in the short passing game than I do Pollard. So there's that too. But Link, what do you feel about that, brother?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the running back room is really interesting. I think things are kind of still up in the air. There can still be changes at that position, right? Like we still have another free agency period to go through. I don't think anybody is necessarily safe, but I could also see a situation where, you know, all three guys make the roster, talking about Singleton, Pollard, and Spears. It could literally go either way. So if you're talking about like short pass game, like I don't think that's really what Pollard is built for and what he would be used in Dayball's system in. I think he would be very similar to what he did last year, just kind of the bowling ball, go get 3 yards when you can. This feels like an offense that, like, look, we were talking about Jeremiah Love and how perfectly he would fit into this offense because he's a do-it-all running back. He's essentially kind of an upgrade from what we thought we were getting in Spears. So that's why I say if Spears can stay healthy, I think there's definitely a spot for him in this scheme. But, you know, his availability has been the question. So, again, it's just so up in the air right now. I still think there could be some moves made. It'll be interesting to see how that shakes out, but yeah, I don't think Pollard is really anything in the passing game. But talking about Gunnar Helm, I mean, absolutely, I'm with you. I think that's a huge safety net for Cam Ward, and I think he's going to be utilized a lot within this offense.
I agree. Scoob, what do you feel about that, brother?
Yeah, I totally agree with the short distances passes for Helm, especially in the red zone. I feel like he's going to be a weapon inside the red zone and short yardage, like 3rd and 4, stuff like that. I think, yeah, I really believe Helm's going to step up and be that guy. I do. So I agree with that. I agree with Helm. Yeah, I think Pollard is going to, in my opinion, I think Pollard's going to be taking a step backwards because I believe Singleton's probably, if I had to say, I'd say before week 6 or 7, we might see Singleton being number 1, in my opinion. So we might see a lot less of Pollard and Spears, in my opinion. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think Helm will be the short guy, the short yardage guy.
I posted a video today of them walking out getting ready for OTAs, and my God, the difference between the two of Tony Pollard and Nick Singleton. I didn't realize Nick Singleton was that large because
Dude, he's
Tony
a
Pollard
massive.
isn't exactly a small guy.
Yeah,
But
he's a massive man.
I'd like to see Nick Singleton next to Tajay Spears now. Now I want to see that comparison. But anyway, um, we're going to move on to the next question. Is Emilio Flores said, "How solid is our O line this year?" Which is a huge loaded question. And then he said something about beautiful uniforms, which I totally agree. Our uniforms are
Right.
absolutely gorgeous. But solid is the O line, man. I don't know. Right guard position's scary. Or I mean, actually, the right guard position is the one I'm not really worried about. Sorry, said that backwards. Center's the one I'm worried about. Schlottman worries me. I'm not gonna lie. And the only real competition for him is Carmona and Coogan, which Carmona's kind of a wild card anyway in that aspect. So I don't know. I'm just really more worried about the center position than I am the right guard. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Scoop?
Man, truthfully, I'm not worried about any position on the offensive line anymore. I'm really not. I feel like they upgraded the depth. I feel like the guys are going to be. I'm just not worried. I think our offensive line is going to be okay. I'm not worried about center. I'm not worried about left guard, right guard, any position on the line anymore. Just in my opinion, I feel like they did everything necessary to fix the offensive line, and whoever becomes the starters, I think are going to do a great job. The offensive line is the least of my worries on this team now, to be in my
Got it.
opinion.
But like what and this is just me playing devil's advocate, but like what has Schlottman done that proves that he's the answer at center?
And I'm not
Like
even.
to
I mean,
Max's point, I think
can
it's
see
just
I can see Coogan being the starting center, man, and that kid is.
what I mean, that's even a bigger question. What has Coogan done? What has anybody other than Skoronsky done on this offensive line to give you that type
If
of
you look at Coogan,
like,
that kid has been top level center everywhere he's been. Hell, he was the MVP of the championship game. I see no problem with him stepping into the center role and being very competitive at his job. I'm just not worried about the offensive line no more. Just my opinion.
fair enough.
All right. Yeah, I love the positivity that we have with Scoob here, man. So
Well,
positive.
there's some spots on the team that I'm not positive about, but offensive line is not one of them.
All right, man. I'll be honest with you. I hope sincerely that you're right, because man, offensive line has been kind of a thorn in our side for a long time.
Well, you just look at the
Uh,
depth and everything. I
Well,
mean,
no, and I'll give you the depth. Like I agree. I think you have very good depth. I'm not really concerned about that part. I just don't know that you have. I don't know that you have not even elite. I don't know that you have great starters. Like even J.C. Latham. I think there's still some things that he's got to go out and prove. I think Coogan is maybe a little bit untested. I don't know. I kind of disagree a little bit with Scoob on that, but I do think you have good
all
depth.
right.
I just don't know if you have the starters that make me feel that comfortable. Right? I think there's still a little bit of a ways to go.
And we're not going to know until they get out there and play, truthfully.
No, for sure. Absolutely. No, I agree 100% on that part. Absolutely.
So we had a pretty good question here live on the fly here with Larry Angus. Said, will the new additions to the defense help Simmons or hurt him production wise? Will he get better or worse numbers? And I'll be honest with you, in my opinion, I think it's gonna maybe hurt him in the beginning, but help him in the end. I think overall the season he'll at least do what he did last year. In my opinion, he might do a little bit better because now he has some other pieces on there to distract
Right.
players. Now in the early downs, obviously they're going to be double and triple teaming Simmons, but then once they see that Franklin and whoever's on the edges at that point, Jermaine Johnson
Yeah,
obviously starts becoming a problem. Then it's a completely different story.
yeah. I don't believe they can double Simmons anymore. I mean, I think it's going to help him. I think it's going to help the whole team because you look at the guys that they brought in, they can't double Simmons anymore. If they double Simmons, them other guys are going to eat. And I feel like the defensive line is the best part of the team right now. They're going to be nasty. That defensive line is nasty.
Here's honestly, like I'll give you a little positivity here too. Here's where me and Scoop align. I think this is probably the best position that Simmons has been in his career
Yeah.
as a Titan. I think you've put, like we talked about how this team needs to be built around Cam Ward. And, you have the addition of Carnell Tate. But if you look at this draft and if you look at this offseason, they kind of built this around Jeffrey Simmons. Like,
Damn
if you
right they
look
did.
at seriously. So, it speaks a lot to what they've done with bringing in Saleh as a head coach and then putting the pieces they did. I think John Franklin Myers is a huge upgrade from Tavondre Sweat. I think you've got maybe the best linebacker group possibly in the AFC South. Like when you look at it as a whole with the starters and the depth, like you've got James Williams back there just lying in wait, who we haven't even talked about, but he's an up and comer on this team. Like, right. Like he's a depth guy and we're talking about he could possibly be a starter somewhere else. So I think you've got a really great defensive front. And again, I think Jeffrey Simmons, they've built this thing around him, and he could absolutely have a career year going into this season.
And I really think you're going to see Jeffrey Simmons lined up in defensive end a lot this year too.
I do too. I think you're going to see everybody on that line moved around. Yep, you're going to see three inside linebackers on the field at once. You'll see Jeffrey Simmons on the outside. Like you're going to see a lot of things we're not used to with this defense. And the big question is going to be how quick can these guys pick it up? You know what I'm saying? Like once they get into training camp, once they get on the practice field, once the pads come on, how quickly can they pick up the system? Because Saleh's system is not easy, right? Like there's things that these guys are going to have to learn, and this is still a pretty young defense. But if they can put it together and if they can figure it out quickly, you're going to be looking at a unit with the defense on this team.
Man, absolutely.
If the corners are my scariest part of the team. That's the part I'm scared about. But yeah, I believe we're going to have a top 15 defense right off the bat. Just my opinion.
I think you've done as much as you could with corner, right? And I think you've done as much as you could with the defense as a whole. The only argument I would have to what they did was bringing in an Arvell Reese over a Carnell Tate. Like, I think if you had to put Arvell Reese in at that pick, like we're talking about a top 5 defense in the NFL. I truly believe that. So that's where I would debate a little bit. But I think at corner, in the secondary, you did the best that you could. I think Alontae Taylor is going to be a huge addition. My only fear is if someone goes down, right? Like if one of same as last year, if you lose a starter, which they did in L'Jarius Sneed, if you lose a starter, that's when you have concern. And I feel the same exact way this year.
Yeah, don't count out that rookie linebacker they drafted, though. That kid's good, man. That kid's good.
Anthony Hill?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Don't count him out.
I like Anthony
I believe he's going to be starting week 1. I truly do. He's going to be a week 1 starter. He's going to be sitting right next to our boy, so it's going to be – I think he's going to be a starter right off the bat.
I would not be upset by it, man. I love all the young talent. Man, I can't believe that I didn't put the name down for this. Oh my gosh, terrible show host here. The question is, what is your expectations for Cam Ward in year 2? Just quick stat rundown. What do you think Cam Ward's going to produce in year 2?
Who's going first?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be just a air it out type of year for Cam Ward. This doesn't feel like he has more weapons, but I don't think he's going to be like a 4,500, 5,000 yard passer, right? I think a successful season for Cam Ward is just a good touchdown to interception ratio and then, 3,000 plus yards. Like, I'm satisfied with that. If you can do that and scrape out 7, 8 wins and get things off the ground and get a good trajectory going into a new stadium, going into the next year, like, I think that's the goal, right? So I don't really expect him to set the world on fire, but I think 30 plus touchdowns, less than 10 interceptions, 3,300 yards, like that spells success for me.
Well, I'm going to go on the opposite side of that, man. I think we're going to see our first 4,000 yard passer as a Titan, especially if Ridley stays healthy. I really do, man. All the talk about Tate getting 1,000 yards and Waddell getting 1,000 yards and Ridley having 700-800 yards. Hot take, I believe we're going to see our first 4,000 yard passer. And that's my opinion. I think Ward's going to get 4,000 yards this year. I don't know what the record's going to be, but I really believe Ward's going to hit 4,000. I don't see how he can't hit 4,000 yards this year with all the weapons he has. And I didn't even name him.
Well, I'm somewhere in between Link and Scoob. I think my expectations are he's a little bit calmer, processes the field a little bit faster. But as far as the stats go, 35 to 4,000, somewhere in there, somewhere around 22 to 28 touchdowns, and somewhere around 10 to 12 interceptions.
Right.
Is what I'm expecting. And if I see that, I think that, to be honest, if he throws for, I think, like 3,700 or 3,800 is a record. It's like an all-time record. Other than, obviously if you go back to the Oilers, Moon had more, but I'm talking about Titans era. That is the most that we've ever seen here in Tennessee, which is quite sad. But I think it's possible. I think it's very possible and even probable this year. So I think that, by the way, it was Brian.
Bookmark this show. He's hitting 4,000 yards this year.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm all for it. Brian Gray was the guy who asked that, by the way. I had to look it up real quick. But, yeah,
if he doesn't hit at least 3,800, like you said, I'll be disappointed. He's got too many weapons this year not to have that many yards.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love you, Lou, man. But your Will Levis love is just too much, my brother.
10 and 7s.
There we go. See, that's a reasonable. I think that's reasonable. 3,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. I would be happy with that.
I mean, that to me, that's
on the touchdowns,
right?
though. That's a little low on the touchdowns.
I agree. It's a little low on the touchdowns, but that's a stellar season, right? Like that.
I was gonna say,
if he hits 3,700 yards, I'm impressed. Like I think Scoob's on the high side. I hope I'm wrong, but I think 3,700 yards would be super impressive.
Oh yeah, I'd be super happy.
Super impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you guys. So here we go. John Michael was on the show last week. Thanks for letting us know. But yeah, which wide receiver out of the ones that we have on the 53 make the 53? I'll be honest with you, man. After Ridley, Ellick, Io Manor, Chimere DK, Wan'Dale Robinson,
Tate,
Bryce Oliver. Yeah, and then Tate's in there too.
Oh man,
there's not a lot.
I don't even know if Oliver's there. Yeah, I think your room is Ridley, Wan'Dale Robinson, Tate, DK, Io Manor, and then who?
And I tell you what, that
open for one guy, right?
That undrafted kid will probably be above Oliver. He's pretty talented.
It's going to depend on. I think a lot of the bubble guys. I think we're to that point now in our team where a lot of the bubble guys have to have some special teams value. You know what I mean? And that is one thing that Bryce Oliver does bring is he is an amazing gunner on special teams.
Yeah.
Both on kickoffs and punt returns,
but he's not going to be above.
returns.
Yeah, he's not going to be above Ileman or DK. That's the
Exactly.
floor now. DK and Ileman are the floor. If you can't get above them guys, then you're not going to be out.
I think Io Manor is the floor. I think Io Manor is the last of those guys. Yeah.
My dude.
He has to be.
I mean, that's the way I feel about it too, man.
The only argument you can make to that is if you put DK exclusively on special teams, right? And I just don't think you have the depth to do that. I think he's too good of a receiver for what you need. And look, with the tight, and depending on what tight ends they keep on this roster, like I think 6 receivers is probably the number. You know what I'm saying? I think 6 receivers is the number that leaves the door for one guy. That's Alec Io Manor as number 5, and then that maybe a special teams guy 6. So I don't know. Like I guess that's the big question: is who is that 6th wide receiver? I don't even know. He may not even be on the roster, right? Like we still have a free agent.
He's going to take a step forward this year. I think he might be number 4.
I'll be honest with you, John. This is a good follow-up question. What do you think of Restrepo? But a lot of people are going to be brokenhearted about Restrepo this year because exactly when you're talking about the talent that we already have on the team, and then you're talking about the undrafted free agent talent that we've got coming in. Restrepo, I mean, he's got a great work ethic, and he might have some ties to Cam Ward and stuff. But yeah, I mean, maybe practice squad, but that's it, man. I mean, I don't think.
I mean, Diego Pavia just signed a 3-year deal as an undrafted free agent, so you never know, right?
Ravens.
You never know.
Ravens.
The Ravens. He signed a 3-year deal as undrafted.
Oh, I thought he only got a
signed a deal 3 years, brother. Why? Like I don't know.
After he said F the NFL and all 32 teams.
No, for the team. He signed a team, or he signed a deal with the team. I mean, they can put him on they can do whatever they want with him. He signed a deal. But it's just the fact that he's getting guaranteed money as an undrafted free agent for 3 years. Like that, it must have been one heck of an interview. Like, I don't know.
I mean, they already talked about what's his name is going to be the starter, not Sanders. The guy I can't even remember his name. He ain't played in so long. I can't remember his name. The kid they gave $250 million guaranteed to. I can't remember.
I'm drawing a blank.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I hate the Ravens.
The one that came from Houston, what's his damn name? I can't remember. I drew a blank. I don't care.
Oh, Watson?
Yeah, Watson. They said he's going to be the starter this year.
For the Browns.
The Browns, bro.
Oh, for the Browns. Oh, he signed with the Ravens.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah, he signed with the Ravens. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who the Ravens are starting, but.
Yeah. Oh, the Ravens are starting Lamar, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, unless he gets traded.
Or hurt.
There's been rumors that he might be traded.
I heard that too. I mean,
I don't know, man.
I don't know. It's possible. Like, look,
if the Ravens
we're getting to that time in the season when there's literally nothing else to talk about. Like, Lamar's you're gonna have this stuff come out.
If the Ravens now look, and I hate the Ravens, don't get me wrong, but I do have some very close friends who are Ravens fans. So, and I feel for them. But if the Ravens literally walk away from Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson in the exact same offseason, you are talking about riots in the streets, fire.
I don't know.
I cannot imagine.
I don't know. Like, I think if you're a Ravens fan, like, I could see where it's like, look, like we were in this situation with, I guess, kind of with Vrabel, where it was like just clean house, right? Like we went into it and we were like, just get everybody out, get Levis out, get Carthon out, get Callahan out, like just clear house. Like if you're a Ravens fan, and you're looking at what Lamar's done in the regular season, it's great. But the playoffs, he craps the bed, right? Like he can't get you over the hump. So I could see as a Ravens fan, if somebody's like, whatever, just clear house, start over, rebuild this thing, and let's get back on top in 5 years. Like I could see that being somebody's thought.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that would be a really ballsy move by whatever GM. You know what I mean? That would be
Oh yeah.
Woo!
Yep.
I mean,
Crazy.
you're betting, you're betting everything. It's like roulette. You're betting everything on red or black or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's a big move.
Right.
On to our next question. This one I actually absolutely loved. Was Brandon Rankin, Titans Super Bowl win?
Win.
Do you have an answer in your mind right now? Because I immediately came up with an answer. I mean,
Yeah,
that
I mean,
quick.
I had a thought, but just based on like how far away I think they are realistically, I guess. But yeah, go ahead. What's yours? What's your
28.
instinct? Okay.
Really?
Yeah,
You think
that's
28?
Yep.
Man,
I think
I don't know,
2028 we're
man.
going to the Super Bowl.
Let me
that's a
tell
little
you how
early
I
for
feel
me.
at the end of this season. If we win 7, 8, 9 games this year, I don't know, maybe 30. We
I
might
just
at
feel
least
like
host the. All right, there you go. I'm saying 30 when we host the Super Bowl.
all right.
That's
Well, I mean, I
what I'm
think
saying.
29. Isn't 29 the year? I don't know.
30. We're
Anyway,
supposed to be hosting at
is it
30.
30? 2030?
Yeah.
I think you're probably, if Cam Ward's the guy, right? And if we're looking way into the future, if Cam Ward's the guy, I don't know that you're doing it in his first 5 years. I think it's going to have to be on a second deal. You have the pieces around him. You have the window open. I think like 2032, 2035, somewhere in that kind of frame. Like
He's gonna be an old man
just
by
think
then.
I was going to say.
but that's what. Well, I mean, look, like I mean, if Scoob's at 2030 and I'm 2 years off, like that's not that bad, right? Like you're, and I say that because look, he's coming off his rookie contract. He's been in the league for some time. He's now a veteran. Like you've got the piece. And to be realistic, like if you look at how young this team is, like by the time these rookie receivers are in their prime, it's 2028, right? By the time you get the running back room where you want it to be, because Tony Pollard, even if he's here this year, it's probably his last
His
year.
last
You've got to
year.
get
Done.
younger. You've got to get younger at running back. So I mean, yeah, like I think if you can go on some miracle run, right? Like if you host a Super Bowl in 2030, but I think realistically, I think you're a few years away, right? Like I think this ownership still has a lot to figure out. I just think you got some time. But hey, I'm all for miracle runs. Like Vrabel did it.
Yeah, you never know.
Not even half
really
of
never know.
what you thought they'd. Yeah, with what you thought they'd need.
Anything
Here's
can
the way I
happen.
figure it. Here's the way I figure it. We got this year, which I think will probably somewhere end up in like the 6 to 8 win range, somewhere in there. We might sniff the playoffs. So we might be in conversations in November of we could be in the play. You know what I mean? But I don't know that we'll actually make the playoffs.
Right.
But then in 2027, we'll have another draft class come in. And so far, Borgonzi's pretty darn good on his hits or whatever. We've done well with our young guys over the last
He's
couple
rocking
of years.
about 80%, ain't he?
So I feel like after 27, then we're actually in the playoffs. We might make one of those pushes to the NFC championship game or something like that. But then in 28 is when you hit that, that free agency splash signing or whatever it is that gets you over the hump, that guy that gets you over the hump, that gets you in or around the Super Bowl conversation. So I think that 2028, I think, is a very realistic look at things. I don't think that's out of the question, at least, for what a team could do in just a couple of years.
Yeah, and you can tell Lou, we're not being downers. We're just being realistic.
Yeah, hey, look, that's bad when I'm the positive one, right? I'm over here going, nah, man, I've got the lowest damn number.
Like I said, I'm a very positive Titans fan, you know what I'm saying? But the Super Bowl, whew,
yeah, I know. It's a big leap. But
a lot of factors, a lot of luck, a lot of things have to happen for that to happen.
Well, I was
absolutely, it's
looking.
not
I was
all
just
about
curious,
the
so I
squad.
had to. I wasn't going to say anything unless I found it quick. But so these are Super Bowl winners with quarterbacks on their rookie contracts. Okay, Mahomes did it in 2019. Russell Wilson did it in 2013. Joe Flacco in 2012. Roethlisberger in 2005. So it happens, right? Like I stand corrected, but it's rare that you get a quarterback to win a Super Bowl in a rookie
Yeah,
contract.
but look at those teams too. The defenses
They're
were
stacked. Absolutely.
The
They're stacked.
offenses
It's not
were-
even
yeah.
about the quarterback. I mean, I guess you could
Yeah.
argue Mahomes in 2019, like he was doing some pretty
But
crazy
they had
stuff.
an
That
elite
was prime
defense in
Mahomes.
2019.
They did. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. L'Jarius Sneed was a big part of that, wasn't he?
Well,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
going to roll perfectly. It's going to roll perfectly into the next question, which Jonathan Harris says, do you think we're going to make any noise this year? Which I've already kind of said. I do think we'll sniff the playoffs somewhere around 6 to 8 wins. And the reason I think that is because last year we were 28th in points allowed on our defense. Our rushing defense was 26th in the league, and our total yards was 345 per game. And I think that is going to drastically change this year with Robert Saleh as the defensive coordinator, basically, the head coach defensive coordinator. I think our defense is going to take a huge step forward. And I think that also allows Cam Ward to grow a little bit faster than you normally would. So I don't know. I feel like that is going to win us at least 3 or 4 games just on that alone. Because if you give Cam Ward closer games than he had last year, I feel like some of those he could have pulled out.
Right. And you think about it, if we win 8 to 10 games this year, we'll be sniffing winning the top of the division. Because that means we beat everybody in the division a couple times, or at least one time. 8 to 10 wins could put us in the divisional playoff.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Well, and that's the argument for that, right? Like it's still a weaker division. Like it's kind of
You can't
wide
really
open.
say, no. How many games did Jacksonville and Houston win last year? Over 10, right?
Well, yeah, but
the Colts were on fire until Danny Dimes got hurt. So I don't think we have the softest division anymore. Not really.
Oh, not the softest, but we are definitely on like 2 or 3.
Jacksonville had 12 wins last year?
Yeah, but it's still up. But look at the games they played against the Titans, right? Like that's the argument.
They beat the hell out of us.
You've got games that you feel like could be winnable within the division, right? Like that's the argument, and that's me trying to make an argument for it. I think we're still maybe a 4 to 5 win team realistically, but that's me trying to make an argument for it. Like it's you have a division that kind of seems like it could be up in the air, I guess.
If you look at our divisional games last year, we got the hell beat out of us.
He said that's the best I can do.
Yeah, and you're probably going to get the hell beat out of you again. Like that's a very likely scenario. But again, anything can happen. I think you're better than you were last year, record wise and visual wise. Like I think that I guess my goal would be. Is it Buck that says just be in the graphic? Like just be in the hunt to be in the hunt. Like I guess that's what I'm looking for. I just want to be in the graphic for part of the year, right? Like if you can compete and if you can look like a professional football team, and I think this team can probably get some wins they're not supposed to. I think they can probably go like this team beat the Seahawks last year. Like that they beat the Super Bowl champions. Like they can beat teams they're not supposed to. So anything can happen. But again, I think you're still a ways away. I think you've got to give these young guys time to grow up before they're making.
We definitely have to win the games we're supposed to. Yeah, that's
the frustration is you've been finding ways to lose instead of finding ways to win. Like that's the one thing you can say about Vrabel before it all went downhill and they lost 30 games in a row. Like they found ways to win. With whoever was on the field, whoever was on the roster, they just found a way to win. And then once they started losing and got in that habitual pattern that continued through Callahan, they just found ways to lose. And the games that they did win were practically given to them, like the Arizona game. So it was just that frustration of even when you have a win, it was because somebody fumbled at the goal line, right? Like it was never just that satisfaction. They couldn't piece it together. That's what I want to see. I just want to see them string together 3 to 4 wins and give us something to be positive about. That's all I'm looking for.
Now, if you look at the schedule, we have a pretty favorable schedule this year too. So I think it could probably happen this year. We could probably have
our strength of schedule is projected like 4th or 5th easiest schedule in the NFL.
We play the Jets, we play the Browns, we play the Raiders, we play a lot of the bad teams this year that have bad quarterback play. Because I ain't worried about the Raiders.
That's what happens when you're a bottom 5 team 2 years in a row. Like you get the easy schedules. That's the
thank God.
That's the benefit. Yeah, you get the high draft picks and the easy schedules.
What's up, Alex?
So, hey, Mr. Titan's on. Hey, big name drop there, brother.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
How you doing? Okay, so we're moving on to Chad Gideon. Gideon? I hope I said your name right, brother. I'm sorry. What do you think about Will Levis still being on the roster? And here's my thought process on that real quick. I'm just going to throw it out there. I hope the reason we didn't trade him in the draft is because there wasn't any interest in him. I hope it was for more of the reason of our asking price was maybe a bit too high. And we weren't, ready to come off of that asking price yet. But, it might be just absolute no interest. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, I feel like they're going to let him play a couple preseason games and see what happens. And then that's going to depend on if he gets traded.
Just hope he performs well. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go with that.
I think they're waiting for they want to see how that shoulder is, because you got to admit, when he played his first year, he played decent. He played crappy his second year, but he had some injuries. But his first year, he played decent. So he does have some upside to him. So if he comes out in preseason and slings the ball around and looks like first-year Will Levis, then maybe we might get an offer for him. Maybe they might just keep him as a third-string quarterback. You never know, but I think they're going to wait and see what he does in preseason before they make any moves.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Will Levis is on this team come week 1. If he is, it's probably on the practice squad. I don't see him as a real option at backup. But yeah, I mean, give him the preseason. Why the heck not? You know what I'm saying? Like, let him go show out, get something. And that's I think that's why there were no offers.
It wouldn't hurt my feelings if he beat out Trubisky. I mean,
look, I don't know. I disagree, because I think on the sidelines, Trubisky is a bigger asset to this team than Levis is. If you look at the emotions that we've seen from Levis and the attitude that he carries, and it's nothing against him, right? He's a competitor, and he's going to compete at the highest level that he can at all times. I just don't know that that's what this team needs with another young quarterback who has a similar attitude, who is your franchise quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather have a veteran in Trubisky who has been a starter in the league, who has seen some things, who has been in the playoffs, who has had successes, who knows that he's probably better served as a backup at this time in his career, and isn't necessarily like he's competing, but he's not fighting for a starting job, right? Like, I don't think in a world where Cam Ward stays healthy, I don't think there's anything he can do that's going to lose him the job between now and the start of the season. So, I think Levis would maybe not be the best fit here, but I think he can absolutely go somewhere else and find success if the shoulder's good and if he comes out and, has a good preseason.
Now, see, that's where me and Link agree. And Lou Man's going to love me right here, because I'm going to say Will Levis is definitely a starter in the NFL. Somebody.
So, Max,
some team should pay us
I
at
need
least
Lou to come on the show and tell me what this Will Levis love is. Where does it stem from, and what has he done for Lou to love this man so much?
I just think that somebody should be giving us at least a third round draft pick for Will Levis's services.
See, you
I
can't see
mean,
me. You can't see me winking in my mask.
he's obviously a good talent in the NFL. But anyway, my
Right.
point is that that's what I'm saying. I hope I love you too, dude. I hope that we can at least trade him for something, and that he
Right.
doesn't just get released or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because
I
I
mean, this
feel
is the
like
last year of his contract, just like a couple other guys. So
I'll be
yeah.
honest. Since we signed Hendon Hooker, I have had it in my mind that is our third emergency
Bro,
Do you think we're
quarterback.
gonna stick with three this year?
I want Hendon Hooker. Like, look, I go back, find the freaking clip when we were talking draft. I wanted Hendon Hooker over Will
You
Levis.
did.
Like,
Yeah,
I was ready.
absolutely.
I
But-
still believe to this day that given the opportunity, Hendon Hooker can be a true talent in the NFL. I'm telling you, I still believe that to this day. I think Hendon
Tennessee
Hooker
Homer.
is a better quarterback. No, truly. I believe he is a better quarterback than what Will Levis is. I think he may not be as talented. He may not have the arm strength that Will Levis has, but I promise you he's not too far behind him. I think when it comes to accuracy, reading the pocket, reading the defense, the football IQ, the leadership, like I'll just say it, the leadership mentality that Hendon Hooker has. And I'm not saying Will Levis isn't a leader. It's just the way that he leads is different.
Yeah.
I just think that Hendon Hooker could find more success in the NFL than Will Levis. But that remains to be seen. And to be fair, I'm a little biased. So it's,
Right.
take it
And
with
I
a grain
agree
of
with
salt.
John on that one too. I feel like Levis never did get a fair shake. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying?
agree with you that I mean, I don't know if a fair shake is exactly the way I would call it, but I'll say this again: he's very talented, extremely talented. He should be a starter in the league, and he should be traded for a good draft pick. But beyond that, I won't speak until he is traded or released.
Right.
Otherwise, and then as soon
Let's
as
see
he's
how he
traded or
does in
released, I'll
preseason.
give you the actual thoughts.
Let's see how he
Here's my argument with a fair shake, right? Like, who gets a fair shake? Name me a quarterback other than maybe Mahomes who got to sit behind Alex Smith and had Andy Reid as his head coach. Like,
Jordan
name me
Love.
a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL. Jordan Love sat behind Aaron Rodgers, Matt LaFleur. Like, they're out there for sure. But there's not a lot of quarterbacks who get a fair shake. Like, Cam Ward didn't get a fair shake. He's still not getting a fair shake. Like, I don't know. Lamar Jackson's not getting a fair shake.
by he didn't get extended playing time. They just, you know what I mean? They just.
I
gave him a
disagree with that. I think he was given more opportunity than he should have been. I think the reins were a little too loose. I don't know that.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know.
That's
I
what
disagree.
made
there.
me lose confidence in Brian Callahan is Will
Yep.
Levis and the
Yep.
way that was handled. That
Yep.
is what made me start going, oh, crap. I don't know that this guy's a good football
Yeah, I
player,
just don't think they used him to his strengths. I think they tried to make Will Levis something that he's not. And that's
Yeah,
what
my argument there is you had two different head coaches with two very different styles, and they both had the same frustration with Will Levis, right?
But he was a lot more successful under Mike Vrabel than he was with Callahan.
He was, but let's think back to, and I don't forget this, let's think back to when we talked, and it's like, man, this Will Levis guy's pretty good, but he's also pretty lucky because if some of these balls go the other way, if these aren't dropped by the defenses, like these are being thrown straight to these linebackers, these fumbles that we're picking up and running for another 5 yard, like he's good, but he's a little lucky.
Cam did the same thing this year. He
Yep.
threw some
And
balls
guess what?
that were dropped.
And guess what?
He
And
fumbled
guess
some
what?
balls.
And Cam's pretty good, but he's a little bit lucky. So can you coach the right fundamentals into him the way that no one was able to do with Will Levis?
Right.
right?
And that's
Like,
why
that's the argument.
I'll end it with this. I think Will Levis will be starting the first preseason game.
For sure.
I'll end it
Yeah,
with that.
that's fair. Yeah, I agree with that. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I really do hope that he gets an opportunity somewhere else in the NFL. And I'm not just saying that as a wink joke.
He definitely is going to get an
That's
opportunity.
real. Yeah, I really do hope the guy gets an opportunity because I do think that under the right circumstances and the right system, I think Will Levis could be successful in this league. Not even winking at that one. I actually believe that. But like I said, it's got to be under the right circumstances and in the right system. Because
some guys, it just takes a little bit longer. Look at your Super Bowl champion quarterback this year. Everybody, who would have thought 2 years ago he would have won a Super Bowl this year? Nobody. Nobody would have thought that man would ever win a Super Bowl. And look what he did this year. And his first 5 years in the league were, you know what I'm saying? And
Brock Purdy was a 7th round pick. Like, crazy things happen, right? Like, it just.
Yeah, I mean,
if you get to the right place and get the right pieces around you, that's what it is, right? Like, it does come down to X's and O's, but it is Jimmy's and Joe's. Like, it's coaching, it's management, it's everything top down. Like, it takes a lot of things to go right to win a Super Bowl, right? So. You just
look at a team like Arizona. You think Arizona would try to take him? And look who they have for quarterbacks right now. I mean,
that's what I'm saying, dude. Somebody is going to get a quarter or halfway through the season and go, "Oh crap, we really need to do something with our quarterback right now," or their quarterback's going to get hurt, or something's going to happen. That's the way it always happens, and that's why I think we should keep him on the roster. However, when it comes down to it, I think if it comes down to cut day. If I'm the guy looking at the tape and stuff, I'm going, I don't know. I think Hendon Hooker gives us a better chance than Will Levis.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Unfortunately, I think that's just the way it rolls out. He is the 4th one out. But
I don't see 3 quarterbacks being on the team anyways. I think we're only
they do that emergency 3rd quarterback.
You get the emergency guy.
Yeah, it doesn't count against your 53 man.
I don't see 3 quarterbacks on our team.
No, not in the 53-man roster. No. We've got way too much positional.
It's going to be Ward and Trubisky, and that's it.
Yeah. So the next question was Mark Allen Lambeth? Something like that. I'm sorry if I messed your name up. I mess everybody's name up, too. So Big Jeff, contract extension. Is it going to happen this year? My answer to that is not really because, he's already paid through 27. Didn't he get one
last year? Didn't he get a bump up?
Got an extension.
Yes, and he's signed through 27. So I think maybe next year you might have an argument that he might get a long-term contract or something like that. But however, there is a player that I think does get a long-term contract, and that is Skoronski.
Yes, sir.
I think Skoronski could be signed to a very lucrative deal in between now and the beginning of the season.
And a well-deserved contract.
Yes, and I do also believe that is why they've held on to so much of their cap space.
I was gonna say they still have a crap ton of money, right? Like,
they got a few guys that they got to make decisions on this year too. So that's another reason why I think.
Yeah.
I mean, like you think there's a few guys that are on the contract here this year, so.
Yeah, there's a lot.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see Simmons getting a bump up this year. Like you said, it'll probably be next year. If he rocks off 10 or 11, 12 more sacks again this year, he'll get one next year.
Yeah, but you got to also think Jeffrey Simmons is rolling into I think he's 29 this year, but next year he'll be rolling into that 30 range where everybody starts to get a little nervous about it. And if his play falls off just a little bit, especially when you got Franklin in there, and you got Jonathan Joseph and OC, and you've got the new rookie from Penn State. You've got a lot of guys now that could take that or be that backup guy to that position. So it's interesting to see now how he does, because to be honest, Jeffrey Simmons has just gotten better and better and better every single season. Like literally, he hasn't had.
he's going to get more rest too. So
Yeah,
he'll be
exactly.
even-
Yeah, he should be because he's
Yeah.
rested. And I
Yeah.
mean, so like I said, he's gotten better every single season. So if he continues that trend, he is going to be ridiculously good this season. He's going to put down like 13 to 15 sacks if he continues the trend that he's on.
And
But
I believe he will, dude. When I seen him at the draft, he was just a rock solid monster, bro.
he definitely trains different.
Man, he's something else. He's a big dude.
So last question here by Michael Grindrod. I have to be careful about saying his name because I got in trouble from TikTok. That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life, dude. They took my video down, and I was like, bro, it's his name. What do you want me to say? I mean, yeah, I did say it a little funny, but whatever. Anyway, he said higher ceiling. Robert Saleh and Dable, or Mike Vrabel and Arthur Smith. And I thought this was I thought it was an interesting question because of the way that this is formulated.
Right.
The reason that Mike Vrabel and Arthur Smith worked so well together that year is because it was Mike Vrabel's first year as a head coach. So he was dealing with mostly the defense, what he knew best. I'm going to stick to my defense, and I'm going to subcontract my offense out to Arthur Smith and let him worry about all the offensive moves and everything. We had some talent on that team, and that's why it worked. That's why I'm so excited about Robert Saleh and Brian Dable, because that's exactly the same formula that made Mike Vrabel and Arthur Smith work. That's why I wanted to bring this question on, and that's why I wanted it to be the last question, because I wanted it to put some thought into people, because that is exactly what's going on. And that's why I'm so excited about the coaching staff and the way that our team is formulated right now, because we have the right amount of talent. We have the youth. If we sniff the playoffs, or if we make a run into the playoffs, is it possible for us to keep Brian Dable for one more year, thinking maybe we could have a Super Bowl run?
Right.
Well, and that's the argument, right? Like when you ask the question, is the ceiling higher? Like, you know what the ceiling is. Like the ceiling for Vrabel and Arthur Smith was a loss in the AFC Championship, right? So you're basically asking, can Dayball and can they win a Super Bowl? And I think they can. Like I think Saleh and Dayball, like you said, they have the right ingredients to work together and make a good run. I don't think they're doing it this year, right? So that's the question. Can Dayball stick around? Can they keep the coaching staff together? Because you essentially have two, arguably three head coaches on this coaching staff.
Yeah, four.
Right? Like it's in Bones. I guess you could throw Bones in there too. Like, So you essentially have head coaches on the coaching staff. If you can keep that together and develop the talent on this roster and maybe get one more good draft class in here, like absolutely they have the ability to do so.
Right.
So yeah, I mean it remains to be seen, but I think the ceiling is definitely higher. I think that they could potentially win a Super Bowl if everything goes right.
And I agree with that too. I feel like this coaching staff status is the best coaching staff the Titans have had since Jeff Fisher when they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And just by status, I'm not saying anything else, but the status of the coaching, the level of the coaches is the highest it's been since Jeff Fisher went to the Super Bowl. And that's why I'm so excited about this season, because we have never, as a Titans organization, put together a coaching staff like this ever. And that's what makes me more excited than anything.
Yeah, all right. So
that's my
good
opinion
show.
on that.
Final thoughts, anybody? Anybody have anything that they want to get off their chest that they didn't get there?
We got a schedule release this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
On Thursday.
It's kind of the next show. what we'll be talking about the schedule release and what our predictions are. Way too early predictions for what will actually be wins and losses for the season because they'll have announced that schedule.
We also should talk about, are we going to get a primetime game this year?
I think we'll get two.
Probably. Yeah, I'd say one or two. Probably.
I think
They might get an international game.
If
That's still a
Mendoza's
possibility.
God, I
starting,
hope not.
if Mendoza's starting, I could see a number one draft pick versus number one draft pick Thursday night special.
That would be
if
nice.
Mendoza's
Yeah,
starting,
okay.
I can see that.
That or they throw him in Sao Paulo, Brazil, or wherever the crap.
Yeah, I don't want to. I hope we don't get an international game.
Unless it's in Mexico City, because we got lots of love for Mexico City.
I just don't like that as the home team in an international game.
Yeah, I don't. At least, I don't want to be the home team.
If it wasn't for that, I would be a lot more on board with it. But I think it's kind of crap that as an international team, you lose a home game, essentially. Like
if you're the home team of the game, yes.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
If we're the away team, then I guess I'm okay with being the away team.
Yeah.
Well, you would think that we would be because, I mean, you would think that they would set it up to be the better team would be the home team.
This is our year to do an international game, though. So I can see
That's what I'm saying. It's possible.
Yeah. Mexico City, damn it. Anywhere else, I'm not happy. But Mexico City.
We need to bring a game for Fernando.
I was gonna say, man. Not only that, we got chili pepper down there. We got a huge.
Are you going, Scoob? Are you going international? If they do
no. Scoob is not going across no international.
No, for real?
No.
Dang, man.
Nah, bro.
No. I have no business going to Mexico. I have no business going nowhere.
What if it's Dublin? What if it's Ireland?
No.
No Ireland?
Well, for one, I can't afford the $6,000 ticket that it costs to get there.
Yeah.
They'll get you there. They'll get you there. You know.
No, that's the first thing. It's way too expensive. It's way out of Scoop's price range.
I'll say this: if I had unlimited money and stuff, then absolutely, I'd love to do.
I mean, me and my daughter plan on going to the Bengals game this year because that's a 4-hour drive, and I really want to go to Dallas this year. That's been one of my bucket games to go to Dallas, but we'll see how it goes. But I definitely know me and my daughter are going to Cincy because that's a cheap ticket and a quick drive.
Right on, man.
Yeah, so I do know.
Well.
That.
It seems like we've had a successful show. We're wrapping things up a little bit, I guess, here. Enjoyed it. If y'all enjoyed it, thank you. We appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, because blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us, doing these fan question shows. For me especially is something that's really special to me. I tried to do it a couple times already, but I never really had the fan base to do it. Now we do, and I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody who put your questions in. If I did not get to your question, I am sorry, but we just had so many good questions this year that I had to just do what we did. But
we need to get Lou Man on the show because I have to have some conversations with him.
Lou Man wanted to be on the show, and I would have had Lou Man on the show had not my weekend been so insane. And Lou Man, I do apologize for you, bro. Yes, we will see you, and hope you have a wonderful week too, brother. But anyway, thank you. Join us next week for the schedule release. We'll talk about all that other stuff then. Until then, I guess, tighten up.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Tighten up, everybody.